from the dung heap, everybody. These are my friends. A lot of them.
Friends.
There he is. Hi, sweetie.
Hello. Good morning, everybody.
And we're live. Hello. SPTV. Good morning. Hello. Hi, everybody. Well, it is hotter than heck in the holler here. We're having 90-degree days, I think, all week here. And yeah, I've been going in the pool and just hanging out. For some reason, I've had a lot of appointments this week. So here I am. I was on last night with Nance Drew. And thank you to everyone who was there, whether you were able to give or not. She said that she felt so supported and so encouraged. And I got to tip my hat to Kelly Copter. She came up with the idea of, because I was saying, we got to think of a new title, because we've been talking about, boobtology and boobgate and all this, and she's like, well, how about like a good bra, you support her. I was like, that's it. That's it. So like a good bra, we all came to support her. And I haven't talked to her yet this morning as far as where she's at with her goal. But she said that, she kept getting notifications during live. And yeah, so I think she's doing well. It's scary. I mean, you never know what's going to come up. She's got so many court appearances with this whole boobgate thing. And, she's really strong. I think I would not be doing well, but yeah, she's doing great. So thank you everyone for all the support. And I know that the mods have her link still for her link tree if anybody wants to give. Last night we were joking, but it was true that people were giving, like some women were giving like their bra size, whether it was $38 for 38 inches, 44, and and so on. And I did that last time, but this time I decided to go with how much I've saved this past week not smoking. So that's what I gave. And I suggested, you give your shoe size, you can, add up the numbers on your license plate, whatever, even a cup of coffee, and, anything that you can give, every dollar counts. So thank you so much. And even more than that, I mean, I was getting teared up because I saw so many people just coming in to send her love and hearts and encouragement, and and also donations. I mean, I saw the ticker go, and people were saying, I donated coffees, buy me a coffee. I gave her, so much for my bra size. I just love it. And of course we have all the emojis to make it, to make us laugh. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that straight off, talking about fighting the good fight. Nance she's a trooper. She's willing to go the extra mile with this and really expose. If it goes into a trial with deposition, she's going to blow it wide open as much as she can. So I'm there for it. And I want to show you something that I saw just as I was getting ready. There's so many channels popping up, and I don't know how new it is, but there's this channel that's out of Boston. It's they call him Cubs Champion, and he just dropped a video this morning. He's been outside the Boston org. It's on a second floor, like an office building, and he's been out there almost every day. And it's it's within driving distance of me. So I would love to go there and meet him and see what's up and stand in front of that org. And there's a big building actually near Fenway Park that they purchased that supposedly within the next year or two, they're going to have their ideal org opening. And you better believe I'm going to do my best to get there for it. So let me just find our friend here. And it's at Cubs Champion 16 is his channel. And I just want to play this little clip. It says, Scientology calls me a suppressive person, dodges all my questions.
That guy right there? Hey, fair gaming ain't scaring anybody now, buddy. Should get out of a cold before it's too late. You should keep shaking your head. It's cool. Anyone could Google Scientology and see all the bad things you guys do. Suppressive? That's good to know. Because I'm against a cult that does child abuse, steals from the elderly. That's why Chase Bank doesn't take no more transactions from this place, right? What about Danny Masterson, who raped 3?
Yeah, so he's schooling this guy. And, he's being called a suppressive person, but he's not phased. He's just, serving up the truth, which I love. And I'm definitely there for that. So I love how Cubs was mentioning specific things like the Chase wave, like the elder abuse and Danny Masterson thing. He goes into a whole thing, the language is very graphic. So I paused it on that, but yeah, just keeping the truth going. And maybe there'll be people in Scientology that something will resonate with them. Just like with Tori Magoo, how she talks about one of the protesters just asking her a simple question. Why can't you read whatever books you want? And it really got her thinking. It really did. When I was in the cult too, I've talked about this before, when people would say things that about my cult, I would usually just shut them down or walk away. But I always thought about it afterwards. And I remember I had a boss that was like very kind to me, but she was just like, honey, you're in a cult. And I was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not, And I was like, you're deceived. And I was like, walked away and thinking, am I the one that's deceived? They're like, no. But then I realized later on, looking back, there were glimmers and there were things that really kind of, chipped away at the brainwashing. And that was one of the things. So I just wanted to show that there's so many channels out there. There's so many things going on that are amazing. So many protesters that are really doing the work. And I just wanted to highlight Cubs Champion 16 because I would love to see him get to 1,000 subscribers. I think he's on 700 and something right now, but seems like a really great guy, and I definitely want to meet him sometime. So I think it's good to show support for all the protesters. All right. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I just have a little list of things I wanted to bring up to you all and get your input on and just talk about all the things, different fronts of the fight. And I do want to mention this, though. I told you I had some appointments. So yesterday I went to the doctor. It was just a checkup and not a full physical or anything, just a checkup on some medications that I had over the winter. So when I told her, and she's like very reserved, she's not like me, all like, wah. When I told her, oh, did I feel like I blipped out for a second. I told her I quit smoking. She literally jumped up and down. She was so excited. And I was like, and she was even doing like the seal claps and everything, So I was like, whoa, I was kind of taken aback. And she was asking me, how I did it and how I'm doing it. And she was really excited about getting some tips from me, because I think that, doctors, they see so many of their patients, die as a result of tobacco use and smoking. So it's I think if it's not the number one killer, it's up there. It's up there. So she was really excited. So I just wanted to share that with you all because you all have been really, really supportive. And I told her about my YouTube channel, and we talked about that for a while. And it's so funny because I last night, I know I'm jumping around, but talking about the YouTube channel being sort of like a evangelist for anti cult you know channels and all that. I got a phone call from this online music, because I have got musicians in my family, and I ordered something for my son Austin, and I got this call. It's like usually this guy like named like Tad, or like I don't know. They just have these like, and I think it was like Felipe called me, and they all sound like surfer dudes. And they're like, dude, thank you for your purchase. Hope you like it. It's called Sweetwater. And they're like, oh, I recognize your last name. He's like, are you Austin's mom? I'm like, yeah, how'd you know? And then he asked me like what I bought, why I bought it, and somehow we got on the YouTube things. Like, so what do you do? I'm like, well, kind of a YouTuber. He's like, cool. So he was sending me things on there's a virtual reality cult. So I was like, that is really interesting. So this is just like somebody who is a salesperson for an online music, ordering place, whatever, and like a warehouse. And yeah, we talked for like 45 minutes. It was so funny. I couldn't believe it. So you can't find Cubs Champion. It's at Cubs Champion 16. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can get his link. Unless one of the mods beat me to it, which is probably the case, but if I can do that. Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Who Leather. Of course, I knew as soon as I got it. I knew that was going to happen. Thank you so much to all the mods. You are fabulous. Love you. So, okay, what was I talking about? Yeah, so that happened. And then I was like, so many people are very fascinated with Scientology and the whole cult thing. As soon as you mention cult, their ears perk up, and I was thinking like, really like relating to people where they're at, because this guy seemed really young. He seemed like he's really into the whole, like virtual reality. He's into comic books or whatever. He just seemed like, similar to what I would think of like my kids' friends, right? And so we started talking about South Park, and so we were talking about Xenu and all that, and this went on forever. But I was thinking, that's something he can relate to, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, that's like a cult. That's like Star Trek stuff." And then we were talking about the different cults like Heaven's Gate. So, anyways, I just wanted to mention that. And okay. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I always bring up heavy stuff. There was a blog post. If anyone hasn't seen it, I want to talk about this. So Mike Rinder put up a blog post the other day, a health update, and I'd like to read that and talk about it. Okay, it's him and Christy. Okay. Christy and I wanted to provide a brief health update, as so many people ask. Due to some recent symptoms, my oncologist ordered a bronchoscopy and a biopsy of lung tissue last week. This saga began a year ago with persistent cough and difficulty breathing, which set in motion a chain of events that resulted in a thoracentesis, draining of fluid from lungs, which when tested showed cancerous cells. I then had a PET scan that showed the cancer to be in the esophagus, but also showing up in my right lung fluid, which automatically designated it stage 4. I ended up being a candidate for a new type of drug called RET inhibitor and have been taking it for a year with excellent success. But the body tends to build immunity even to good things, treating harmful conditions like it does with antibiotics. The results of the scope and biopsy show more cancer cells have spread in the lung tissue, meaning meaning the drug is no longer sufficient. My oncologist was happy with how long treatment did work, exactly a full year, and now it is time to change. On Tuesday, I started chemotherapy and immunotherapy. Because there is no centralized tumor or a mass, the cancer is hard to measure and monitor. The main indicator of progress will be symptoms and how I'm feeling. I'm a very good candidate for immunotherapy, which is a test for this. My oncologist says I have the highest score she has ever seen. I remain positive. It's another chapter starting in the book of life. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the support and love I have received from so many. It is incredibly heartwarming and gives me strength. Okay. All right. So I wanted to read that and share it, and I want to say that I don't wish ill on Mike Rinder or anyone else. I wish him the best. I hope that this immunotherapy and chemotherapy works well for him. And I've seen some buzz, and honestly, in the troll the trolling that, oh, it's just so terrible how Aaron Smith Levin and people are being so evil and rude and lying about Mike and not caring about his cancer. No, I do care about his cancer. In fact, I, with many community members, stayed up for 10 hours overnight. I'm not patting myself on the back, but we all, many of us gave to his treatment, gave money to his treatment. And Aaron, who at the time, I didn't know that there was a falling out or any tension between them. This was before Aaron was removed from the Aftermath Foundation board. Aaron did a fundraiser for him and raised, I don't know, between $10,000 and $20,000, I believe. So never asked for a thank you, never got one that I know of. And so there's that, but there's also accountability for what you've done. And I would hope that if someone is that ill and looking at possibly not having much time left on this earth, that you'd want to make amends and that you'd want to spend this time not fighting, not trying to bring down Aaron Smith Levin for some personal vendetta in Aaron's personal life, but to spend time with your family, to look at your legacy, to reflect, to make amends, to make things right with people you've wronged, to come clean and tell the truth about things. So I wanted to bring that up because I know that there's people that have been wronged or feel strongly that they've been wronged by Mike Rinder, and having cancer doesn't excuse that, and I would hope that he would look at this like an opportunity to make things right. And again, I do wish him the best. I think he has a beautiful family. I don't wish any ill on him, but there is a comeuppance. There is an accountability that needs to happen, in my opinion. Absolutely. And I want to bring this up too, is my friend George, who I had on the other day, he has been organizing a protest to Child USA. He's written some letters with no response about Mike Rinder's position on the board. And as far as I'm concerned, and as far as George is concerned, I believe if he's in the chat, he can confirm this, that doesn't change anything. This does not change the effort to have him removed from the board. I'm sorry, but it just doesn't change that. Serge Delmar, kids still cannot consent whatsoever as we speak. It's that simple. Absolutely. Mic drop right there. Thank you, Serge, for all you do. Thank you so much. And Serge, I just want to mention this. On this past Sunday was my 1 year anniversary of this channel, and I sent a bunch of clips to Kelly Copter to put together a compilation. And she did about, I think, a 4-minute compilation to some music that my sons had written. And towards the end, I had sent her a clip of you talking about accountability, talking about children, and about specifically Shelly Shelley Miscavige. And I was so happy that she let the whole clip that I played, that I sent to her, she let the entire thing play. So if you want to see that, it was a moment in this past year that really inspired me. Sorry. Because I felt defrauded by Mike Rinder. And I felt a little bit defrauded by that show and by Leah, because, here we were fed a certain narrative, and it was like, look over here, where's Shelley? Oh, let's thank Debbie Cook, she's wonderful. And then not realizing that so many of the survivors and the second gens have been wronged. So I can multitask. I can, support the protesters. I can support Nance Drew, who's going through hell with the boob gate thing. I can support my friend George, who's going out there and protesting against Mike Rinder being on that board. And I will add this too, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this, but until Matt Pesh is taken off the Aftermath Foundation board, I'm going to be a dog with a bone like that too. Because when is there the right time? Now. Okay, so it didn't happen 10 years ago, but that recording of, I just can't get that out of my mind, of Matt Pesh basically admitting that he wrote the checks to traffic these children away from their abusers and basically cover up child SA. So I don't think he should be on the board of a public charity either. So that's my spiel about that. So I don't have anyone in StreamYard today, guys. So I'm just trying to, oh, I got fired up. Oh my goodness. I'm just trying to start some things as you go along. Hey, sweetie. Oh my God. Love you. Love you too. And I've been following you in Italy. Oh my God. I'm so glad you got that trip. And happy birthday to Michael. I've missed so much of what's going on with you. So glad you got away. They are all invited to visit the FBI Crimes Against Children unit. Their phone lines is open as fuck. Right. Why isn't this happening? I just don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, I have to see it. Yeah, I think you'll like it. It was just such a moment. There were so many things that happened this past year, and it was so hard to choose, but that was one moment that I was like, I've got to put this in the montage, and Kelly let the whole thing play, and I was so happy about that. And sometimes I feel a little bit like a little bipolar, because I'm crying. I'm like crying my eyes out one minute, and then I'm laughing. And that compilation that Kelly put together, it pretty much was like that. It was like up and down, it was like funny and then sad and then serious. And yeah. And another highlight was having Doug on that as well. So ASAP Lizzie, aiding and abetting, period. It's right. That's right. I want to see justice. Spicy Mama Bear. Yeah, I was talking to my doctor about this because they have this. I don't know if every doctor's office has this now, but when you go in, they do they give you this little check sheet about your mental health, and usually it's like, oh yeah, are you irritable, whatever. It's like, oh, some days, and and like this time I was like, yeah, every day. Like, are you irritable every day? Are you a little, I forgot what else they asked, but I was just like, yep. Oh, are you anxious? Yep. And then she's like, well, you're full on menopause. You just quit smoking. And you got a lot of other stressors going on. She's like, what do you think? And I was like, I think I'm just being a raging bitch. I said, I don't think I need any medication. I don't think I'm in clinical depression. I just think we just got to ride this out. So she was laughing about it, but yeah. So that's the spicy mama bear. Frisia, the dog. Good, Marilyn. Don't drop that bone. You're a sweetheart. My crochet sister from another mister. I love that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm all over the place today, guys, but I'm working on some stuff for, and I want to show you this. It's a big day in the holler, guys, because, my husband's building this house about 3 or 4 miles up the road, and it's going to be an Airbnb, and it's like an A-frame. The concrete's being poured this morning as we speak. They're doing, I think, the slab, the basement floor. So I'll show you that. But so I can't pour concrete, so I'm just making like dishcloths and stuff for the house. So I'm having fun doing that kind of stuff. Oh. Modern Dancer, the Aftermath Foundation board needs totally new members. Yeah, well, they're going backwards on that. And I've showed the receipts many times that at least twice in the series of emails that Mike and I went back and forth with, that he said that they were looking for replacements. So the 3 couples were wanting to step down and go on with their lives. So, and that's pretty much word for word what he said. Now what's happening, what he said and what's happening are 2 different things. They have brought people on the board. Phil Jones stepped down for his own reasons and was very nice about it. Stephanie, she just went out in a blaze of dumpster fire glory there. And then you have still on the board is Rachel Hastings' wife, who is ex-military, seems to really have her shit together. I hope she makes a difference. John Atack, I don't know what his deal is. And I'll be honest, guys, I did send him the whole series of emails between Mike and I, because there were some pretty spicy things that I think that the board of the Aftermath Foundation should know that he's been putting out there. Breaches in confidentiality, things that a board member should never, how they should never behave like. So, and I got a very good response, a very caring and well thought out response from John Atack. So I never had a problem with him. I had a problem with some of the things that he said. And I did a whole stream about it. His whole fluff piece with Mike Rinder, that was sorely disappointing. But before that, I really enjoyed his channel. And it looks like that he's lost a lot of support. So yeah, I hope that he really thinks about this and either demands some change on the board or maybe step down himself, So I wasn't, I did have this on my list of things to talk about, but I wasn't planning on getting so deep into it. Alley-oop, Marilyn, I feel defrauded too. I know what you're saying. Thank you. I appreciate you being honest as well. Oh, Melissa. Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat. Oh, thank you so much. Donated to Nance Drew. Thank you so much. She's such a sweetheart. And I feel so bad for what she's been going through. It's just awful. Just awful. All right. Can't literally wait to see it. Yes, I tagged you in it. I took the actual video and put it as a separate video on my channel, so you can watch that. It's just a few minutes long. But hey, Paul on the go. Good to see you. Good to see you. Just trying to catch up here. Sorry for everything I've missed. I can agree with this. Crochet is life. Crochet is life. Definitely agree with that. Thank you, everyone, for showing Serge support. He is on the front lines of this fight to defend and protect the children. So I just love him to pieces, and I really want to see him be supported. So thank you all for all your support. Hey, Selfless Self. Good to see you, friend. Glad you're here. We got Pinche Becky, 0 F's given. Sounds feisty, my kind of gal. Doctor Who Heather comment. I'm praying that Mike recovers so his son can grow up with his dad in his life, and hopefully he will have the time to reconcile his past and present and can rebuild a bridge with a second chance. Yeah, I can agree with that. I hope that's the case. I really do. Free Xenu Project. Hi there. Good to see you. First District Police Department needs major investigation. Are you talking about Chicago? Absolutely. I mean, I just feel so bad for what you all are going through, especially Nance Drew. It's just not right. LA and Toronto, Marilyn, you look beautiful. Thank you. I've just been sweating. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wear my hair up again. Hope you guys don't mind. Seeing my big ears sticking out, my big round face. Oh well, it is what it is. But thank you, thank you. CK Raridan. The Aftermath Foundation needs a retooling and a very deep introspection if they intend to be effective in any way. I feel really bad that Aaron founded the Aftermath Foundation and trounced him out. And now, yeah. And to be fair, I'm sure they're doing. I mean, they've got $200,000 to work with, so I'm sure they're doing things, and I'm sure they're doing some good. But when you've got some rotten apples, bad apples on the board, and their behavior has been atrocious, especially since the last 6 months. It's just jaw-dropping atrocious. So, yeah, unfortunately, when you've got a public charity with public donors, with the community, all eyes watching, and there's a lot of systemic problems, it doesn't look good, and it really doesn't bode well for the future of a corporation. And it's a corporation. It's a business, a nonprofit business, but it is a business. So thank you for dropping all the links to my mods. Appreciate you so much. Kate D. Comment. We have to help Nance, not just winning this boob gate, but why not press charges? I don't think anything's off the table. So we'll see. I think that's a good point. Yes, Chicago. Okay. Thank you. FXP, I just got talked to from across the street by Sergeant Dolan in Chicago on Sunday. He wouldn't get out of his car. He finally left. Yeah, well, move along, right? Unbelievable. Josh Barrow with the self-deprecation. You got a whole sultry librarian like, yeah, because you know how I'm allergic to books, guys. I have been doing a lot of audiobooks though. I do like the smell of like a new book though. Yeah. And it's kind of huggable. Corn Freak. Sergeant Dolan done burned her biscuits 4 times over. Sergeant Dolan. Kate D takes only one bad apple, spoil the basket. I hear you. Ain't no flies on the dummy. George Massey. Oh, George. Oh, hey, there's my honey. Hey, he's been back and forth to the property, and he gave Rocky a bath this morning for me. That was so sweet of him. And let me tell you, we got to get their appointments. I wish Pup Groomer 20 lived around here. I would definitely take my dogs to her. But yeah, Pomeranians, they have this dingleberry problem in their butt, so we have to keep it trimmed. And yeah, Rocky for some reason gets the worst of it, so he needs frequent baths. So thank you, honey, for helping me with that. Oh, thank you, Becky. That's really sweet of you. Yeah. Oh, you like the Barnes and Noble? Yeah, that is true. It's true. Okay, I'm going to go back to some starred, and I got some more things I want to show you. And I believe that our Natalie will be on at 11 Eastern. So, and we got about a half an hour. ASAP Lily, thank you, Lizzie. Sorry. Thank you so much for the super chat. Congratulations on your continued success with quitting smoking. I, for one, am inspired and hopeful in doing the same. Thank you for saying that, because I was very inspired by people who had quit recently. Like Kelly Copter talked about how she quit vaping, and she had listened to this audiobook and told me about it. And I was like, I knew I had to quit. And my chronic cough was getting worse and worse and worse. And I knew it was time. It was time to face the music, before it's too late. And I was having a hard time even getting ready to quit. And I listened to that book. It took me like 2 months to listen to it, but it helped me get mentally ready. It's a book by Ellen Carr. It's called The Easy Way to Quit Smoking. In my experience, there's no easy way. It's not been easy for me, at least. But it does help you to, I think, mentally prepare for it. It really helped me, and it helped me to kind of come to terms with some of the excuses I was using. And one thing I liked about it, and I'll be honest, was that, like I said, it took a couple months for me to actually listen to the entire thing. They tell you to smoke while you're doing it, or vape, or whatever you're trying to quit, while you're listening to it. And I liked that because it wasn't this pressure to have willpower, and to be like, the whole idea of the book is to rewire your brain so that you realize that you're really not missing out on anything, that you're not really being deprived, that you really don't need nicotine. So yeah. So I would definitely suggest that. I was telling my doctor about it, and she said, "Oh, I've heard of that." And it's not a new concept. There's other programs that basically do the same thing. It's sort of hate to use the word brainwashing, but it's like in a good way, right? It's influencing your brain in a positive way, healthy way. So yeah. Oh, we got a joke here. Still question: what do you call a floating ant? A buoyant? Buoyant? Oh, a buoyant. Okay, got it. I get it. I'm a little slow. I'm a little bit blonde. Joel McCoyne, hey there, my friend. We can show Mike Rinder consideration with his health problems, but we don't have to agree with how he has acted or what he has said. All of us are responsible for our own actions. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, I'm not trying to be mean, hateful, spiteful. It's just truth is truth. And look at Serge and Miriam and all the second gens. And some of them have been directly affected by Mike Rinder's actions in the past. So I'm totally for supporting their right to have justice, their right to ask questions, and their right to keep fighting this fight on many fronts. So I guess the thing about this talk this morning is just looking at all the things, right? All the moving parts and different fronts. Like, we got LA. I tell you what, what in the Los Angeles is going on? Because not only what's going on with the protesters in Scientology, there's so many cults that come out of California and LA in particular. I've been following this 7M TikTok dance cult, and I really want to cover it. In fact, I'd like to ask No Culty Vibes, Cassie Marie, to come on. She was actually in the documentary. They showed clips of her TikTok, and she's been covering this cult that came out of, well, it originated, I think, overseas, but it was this man, believe he is Korean. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows. But he had a church early on where he had a cult situation going on years ago, and now has, quote, renewed his whole cult operation, and has taken these dancers, some of whom have been on So You Think You Can Dance and all these shows. They're TikTok famous, and they joined his, quote, church. And the language is so triggering, because I swear, I believe that they had the same origin that Marlene had, as far as this, what's called a shepherding the shepherding movement, where you're just basically giving up your will, giving up your money and your time, your family, everything, and you're submitting to what they call this mentorship. And so they had this mentors under the cult leader, and there's families being broken up. It's so much like Scientology. It's just heartbreaking. And again, Los Angeles, I don't know what the heck's going on there. I really want to see things change. I really want to see some change and some legislation against coercive control. So we're talking about smoking. Yeah, if I can help in any way. I'm not the poster child because I'm not doing a very good job. I mean, I haven't smoked. It's been, let's see, 14, 15, 16, 17 days, 2.5 weeks. And I've done it cold turkey, but it's not easy, but I really have drawn a lot of strength from many of you. So I appreciate that. Oh, Pinche. Whoa, that's awesome. Pinche Becky. So many of you have quit or trying to quit, cut down a lot. That's amazing. Yes. The Easy Way to Quit Smoking. That's what it's called, by Alan Carr. And if you get the audiobook, you can have, because my son Austin, he smokes, he's trying to quit, and he had me play the little samples of the voices. So he's like, yeah, the American guy, I don't know, he sounds boring, but I was like, that's what I use, the American guy, because it's the one I happen upon. There's a couple different British accents. I think there's a British woman that Kelly listened to. So I guess you could pick your voice, which is really, really cool. Kind of like Siri, you can pick the voice. I thought that was really funny. Reasoning, there's no easy way out. They lied. Maryland stuff. Yeah, it's like any of you women that have had babies, right? I mean, didn't they lie? It's like, when I mean, granted, I was induced, but I was like, no one told me how awful this was going to be. I might not have signed up for it. But then, of course, I had 2 more. So you forget. And it is worth it. It's worth the pain of quitting smoking. But it's hard. So it's hard for me. Yadira, Serge, and Michael are such a beautiful couple. Absolutely. What do they call that? Couple goals? Yeah. Relationship goal. Mm-hmm. Not sure what this was referring to, but tell me about it. Okay, I will tell you about it. That's cute. I'll have to go back and look at the chat because I missed so much. Just trying to catch up here. A selfless self. Breezy, if only I could go to 1950 and burn the manuscript of Dianetics and get LRH a job as a comic book proofreader. Right? Or you could have written comic books, I guess. Oh my goodness. I know. I wish his I believe it was his second wife that he didn't claim, Sarah, that was around when he was writing Dianetics. And yeah, I wish he could have thrown it in the fire. But according to her, he's pretty abusive, which I believe. So she was probably afraid. Oh. Hey, Carrie, good to see you. That kitchen witch, Suzanne, I've cut down, but my partner smokes, so it makes it so hard. I've considered hypnosis. Yeah, this is probably a similar form of it. It's more like just a lot of repetition, but it really does kind of get you thinking. And one thing that it said, which I thought was really interesting, that if you have someone in the house that smokes, just get rid of your own cigarettes and don't, like, the whole idea is so you don't feel like you're being deprived. So you can be around it. They say, don't totally rearrange your life. If you work at a job that you're used to taking a cigarette break, they're like, don't miss out on the water cooler gossip. Go outside and hang out with them and you won't be tempted. I'm like, you won't be tempted. But actually, I have been the last week or two, last week, I was at some gigs of my sons, and people were smoking around me, and it's like I did have that twinge. I did have that like, oh, that would be really good, but it's like there's no such thing as one cigarette. And that's how I started, with just being a casual smoker. And it does, they say the delay, it does go away after like a couple of minutes. And I realized that it's just not worth it. It's not worth getting back in that, to me. So I can be around it. But it's not easy, but it's not easy not being around it too. So either way. But I think with me, it's less about willpower now, which it used to be all about the willpower. And now it's more of like internalizing it for me, if that makes any sense. Oh, here we go, George. Literally no one. Rides again with some 2D flow to be expected. Tomorrow with Susie. I'm excited. Yes, I will have to be on the replay crew with that, because I think you said the afternoon. Is it 3:00 Eastern? I will definitely watch that. Looking forward to it. But Duncan got tickets to this place called Tanglewood, and I've never been there, but it's not too far from me, and it's a venue. There's like something called the Shed, which is like an indoor concert hall, and then they have what's called the Lawn, which is literally a giant lawn, and you can set up, picnic table, or well, not picnic table, but a picnic situation, and just have like wine and cheese or whatever while you listen to the music. And they have big names every year. And James Taylor is a regular. He actually has a house in the Berkshires near me. And tomorrow we're going to see John Fogerty and George Thorogood. So I'm so excited about that. So yeah, I didn't realize we have to go there so early. So I had a stream planned with our friend Samuel, the SP chef. So I'm going to try to roll it back, or maybe reschedule it. So look forward to that. I'm pretty excited. West Coast Fancy Nancy, Marilyn, may I email you about my toxic religious experience? Absolutely. Absolutely. My email is coffeecultsandcrafts@gmail.com. Oh. Selfless self. Serge and Michael are exceedingly beautiful human beings, wishing them all the best in all things. Absolutely. I can second that for sure. You Dara, we love you. Mammy Bear. Mammy Bear. Right back to you. YRB, hey there. My way to quit smoking. Visit non-smoking friends. Announce I'm the only one who can be grumpy or cross. And the only thing to watch is silly comedies. 2 weeks haven't returned to habit. All right. I think that's kind of my MO too. Is sorry guys, I'm trying not to be grumpy. I've even tried to spare you all, but I did emerge at 1:00 in the morning the other night. 1:00 in the morning the other morning. Corn Freak wearing my goldenrod SPT, so they'll at least see me coming. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yes, CK, it's coffeecultsandcrafts@gmail.com. Free to email me. Emma Robson, I quit last year, left my 4 remaining cigarettes in the kitchen cupboard. Every time I open the cupboard, I choose not to smoke, which is better for my mind. Can't stand the smell now. There you go. Yeah, for some people that would work. Yeah, for me having it around all the time, well, I don't know. I'm not as tempted as I would have been probably the first week. But yeah. YRB, California is where all the misfits run to. Yeah, and a lot of young people with talent that want to make, and only what, I don't know what the percentage is of starving artists and actors and dancers and performers there, but it is Scientology. It was very similar when I was watching that docuseries. Very similar to how the Celebrity Center, kind of sucks in the performers and the actors and stuff, and makes them promises and kind of like just basically misrepresents what they're doing. And the thing that it's attached to a church. So you got that whole quote religious exemption and protection. So that's what they were saying about when the families were in a circle calling the human trafficking hotline. They said, well, unfortunately, because your loved ones are adults, it's not illegal to be deceived, and to, coercive control really isn't quote illegal unless there's other crimes involved. Like, you look at Keith Raniere, there were human trafficking and all kinds of money laundering and racketeering and all that. And the fact that he didn't have a religion backing him probably made it easier for the FBI to come in and shut him down and hold him accountable. So I'm just hoping that that America will wake up to the cult abuse, and that it will be more like other countries as well. So, oh, Selfless. Oh yeah, you're from this area, right? Are you from Boston? Tanglewood is beautiful. You'll have a blast. Western Mass rocks. Oh, you lived in Windsor? No way. I grew up on Florida Mountain, which is North County. Oh my God. So, yeah, we were kind of like neighbors. Yeah, and if you're ever back east, let me know. That's awesome. Yeah, Windsor's a little town. Been there many times. Oh my God, you're going to see Alanis Morissette? Awesome. Is that in Clearwater, that new music venue? So I remember Aaron saying that Styx was playing there. Yeah, have a blast. Awesome. Love Western Mass. Yeah, we are completely surrounded by mountains. I mean, I'm just literally over the line in the first town over the line. But I've been a lot more like aware of my surroundings since Kelly came here, because you're showing people around, showing them the sights, and I'm like, we are literally like in a bowl. There are mountains all around. And you go to Walmart and you like do a 360, there are mountains completely all around surrounding Walmart. And it is beautiful, and everything is green now. So, which I love. So let's see. I wanted to talk about Nance Drew, Mike Rinder, Cubs champion, 7M. Got that done. All right. I want to show you a couple of pictures and then a little quick video. Just special interest stuff. I got a few pictures that I got in my email from viewers and friends like you. You can keep sending these along. I love getting these. All right. Now, this was made by our friend Nancy Alley, who is a mod for me and for, of course, Natalie. You probably know her from there. And she does diamond art. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely love that. So pretty. I might try that sometime if I can see, because I love the glittery part of it too. Isn't that so pretty? Very talented. And this is, all right, this came in from Vicky. And I believe this is Pepper. Is he so cute? And he's a Chorky. And then there's also, Vicky sent this in. Look at this is Rowdy. Sitting so pretty. And he's a wire-haired Doxy. And they're both 12 years old. So this guy and Rowdy and Pepper, they're both 12. So cute. So cute. And then I want to show you a quick little video here from at Freeze and Eagle, my hubby. So like I said, this is a big day in the holler here. And this started out as just a piece of land with trees all around. I could not imagine how it would be cleared and there would actually be progress on building a house. So I'll show you where we're at right now. So it says A-frame build, an exciting day. Final concrete. Here it is. I'll play a little clip of this. All right. who has so many tabs open. All right.
Good morning. This is Juneteenth. Duncan with Free as an Eagle, and this is the big day, the final concrete work that will allow me to actually start attaching pieces of wood together to end up with an A-frame. So I'm walking in the driveway, and the mixer showed up right. I drove up earlier to check on progress, and the two guys were waiting for the mixer, so I turned around, drove back to my house, and I started cleaning my car out, and next thing you know, the mixer goes by. So luckily I'm only 5 minutes away, so I was able to finish.
We're getting closer. Here it is. The
This
foundation.
morning they had the poly down. Oh wow, look at that. Beautiful. Morning. Looks like you're making a lot of progress pretty quickly. Got you on video for a minute just to capture what's going on here.
Right. I'll let these guys work. Just wanted to show you that. Yeah, big day in the holler. And so it looks like, I think next week they're going to start building the house. So really excited about that. I'll show you that. And yes, please remember to hit the like. That would be awesome. Thank you, everybody. Booby over to that like. Boob smash that like. And subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, so if you haven't checked out Duncan's channel, I always say this, but it's true. If you like nature, if you like watching people build stuff, if you like beautiful photography, let's see what else. He has music. If you like music, if you like pets, especially dogs, if you like to hear about near-death experiences, head on over to @FreeAsAnEagle. So. Selfless Self. Foundation look good. Sometimes tricky pouring those in the summer. Yeah. Well, I've heard a lot about it. And yes, the moisture, the heat, they had to put plastic out. I don't know. Duncan could explain the whole thing. That's, I could take it in doses because I'm like, can you like draw me a picture? I think I'd understand it better. So yeah, it is very tricky. They know what they're doing. They're really, they've kind of been waiting. There's everything has to be in a certain order. So Duncan can tell you the whole order, but he is putting clips up. So if you check out his channel, he's got the progression of it all. And then once it's built, maybe with a little help from Kelly Copter, we can put together a whole like kind of mini movie about it or something. So, and it will be open for renting. So really excited about that. And I'm just going to keep making stuff for it. All right. I think that was pretty much everything I had to say today. And please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't. I would love for you to leave a little comment in the comment section. I do read all of them. If you need to email me, it's coffeecultsandcrafts@gmail.com. And let's everybody freshen up your coffee, take a pee break, splash some water on your face, whatever you need to do. And let's head on over to Natalie's channel. And I will see you over there. So, all right, everybody, that outro and have a great day. Bye. Zenu, Marlene, everybody partake. Cheers. This is good coffee. This is why, my hubby makes the coffee.